I want to take a moment not only to say congratulations, but to celebrate each and every one of you. That you have said yes to this, that you have chosen to be here in this very moment. I want to say I recognize how difficult it can be to say yes, to dig a little deeper and do the work. We are halfway through these clearings. And today, I want you to do something just to celebrate you. Celebrate yourself. Something that is just for you. Not something that is working around or working through, but something that is just for you. That you are claiming for yourself, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be something huge. Maybe it's just going to bed early. Maybe it's buying yourself some flowers. But I invite you to celebrate how far you've come, to take an inspired action, to set it in motion. Sometimes we can move ourselves into a certain vibration, but then we never take action from that space. Or we fall into these old habits of I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to procrastinate. I don't have time. Where the energy goes, the attention flows. And where the attention flows, the energy goes. So today we're going to take a look at where we are misaligned and creating trauma, hurt, and woundings in the first place. These sessions are important keys to manifestations. Because if those pieces are still there, or we've chosen not to look, or we've pushed them to the side, or we pretend, we're essentially creating and trying to create a spiritual bypass. And part of this cycle is we have to go all the way through. We have to look at the spaces and places, the woundings that aren't congruent or in coherence with what is on the other side. On the other side of our desires and our wants. And that starts with awareness. It starts with, I have this belief, I have this habit, I have this behavior, this emotion. But where does it come from? What is the root of that? In the last clearing, we started an excavation. And we dug a little bit more. Until we find it. And then we do the work with whatever tools we choose, because there is no right or wrong. And we work through that. And we let go. Then there's some space for something more to come in. Something even better. It leaves space for our desires. what we are choosing in, and what we want to create. And you may begin to start feeling a lightness. You're raising your baseline frequency. So today I'm asking again for you to celebrate yourself. Choose one thing, a thought or a belief, that you're going to follow through with an inspired action to send off to the universe that you are ready to soar. You are ready for something even better. And the better it gets, the better it gets. And another piece to add to that is the attitude of gratitude. I am so happy and grateful that I have chose myself. I am so happy for the awesomeness. I am so happy that I have come this far. So today, I want to bring up or talk about another emotion. I was taken back a bit when this came through. It felt kind of sticky. Maybe you'll feel, hell no, that doesn't resonate with me. Or maybe it's, oh yeah. Or maybe it's, I don't even want to look at that. Today, I want to talk about guilt. I want to know how many times in your life have you felt guilty for wanting what you want? Felt guilty for a desire? Even as a child, you see things you want and you get the response you're not allowed to have. What makes you think you deserve that? And you're left feeling selfish. However, the definition of selfish is being in alignment with self. When we choose to be selfish, is in alignment with the self. We have been taught that belief, that we should choose everyone first. Hence the self-sacrificing, the suffering, hence the burnout, the procrastination. Now there's another piece about guilt. I was asked this question one time. Why do I feel guilty about doing things with my kids at home? And it became this knowing that I, in fact, had this past conditioning from society, from my parents, from my grandparents, from my own traumas, that good moms are always around. Good moms are always at home. Good moms always put their kids to bed. Good moms are always there when their kids need them, which in turn developed a codependency between my child and myself. Can you tell me what guilt is? Guilt is when we have a belief and a behavior that are not in alignment with each other. Guilt is a belief and a behavior that is not in alignment with each other. Blame, shame, guilt, self-loathing, self-limitations, all of those things. You are given two choices. You can change the belief, or you can change the behavior. If you're not willing to change the belief, then you will find justification in the behavior. You will talk yourself into the past patterns, past ways, old things that serve you, and we'll call it a day. We let fear and resentment and shame and guilt stay. Or we can change the belief. A belief is a thought that we think over and over, consciously or unconsciously. So why do we feel guilty for what we want? Why can't we be happy with what we already have? We feel guilty when we want to leave our jobs with all those perks and follow our own passions. We feel guilty when things are easy because life is supposed to be hard. We feel guilty about money. I did this. I caused that. Guilt. You can make a lot of money, but you better not make more than your partner or your parents. Is it in the owing? You don't want to owe anyone, so you struggle. We always have to pay our way. There's a lesson there. And it's welcomed in how to receive. Money is an energy that needs to be resourced, not resourced. Resourced, not resourced. We unplugged from that grid. What happens when our beliefs about money restrict coming in and coming out? How many times have you felt panic at the grocery store when you were in the checkout? Is there enough money? Money is a tool. It's an energy that needs to be in constant flow and constant motion. Money is like the element of air. It flows in and out, and you can choose to draw more in and draw more out. You can choose to hold it and contract. But let me ask you a question. When you breathe, do you feel guilty for taking in the air from someone else? When you exhale, do you exhale more than your inhale than the next person can have more? Do you feel guilty because you don't deserve to breathe? Or that someone should have it before you? Do you take an inhale and hold your breath and sacrifice your own needs to make sure that everyone has enough air? Do you hold your breath because there's a fear that there may not be another? Because fear is developed with our relationship with the future. We have a faith and know that there's always enough for everyone. We know that there's always enough. So why is guilt attached to money? It's a past conditioning. So let's stop dancing around that fire when it comes to guilt and money. Stop allowing it to stay sticky and pricky. After all, it will affect what we create for ourselves. How many times have you looked at a course and said that's too expensive? I can't afford that, charging too much money for that. It will actually affect the frequency you're vibrating at. When we feel guilty for having more than those that are in perceived struggles, we take on responsibility for them. It's not their fault. It's not my fault. Have you ever had a belief that if someone is rich, then we believe they are lucky? Or there's jealousy or resentment or bitterness between or towards someone with money. They can do that because they're rich. Rich people do shitty things. Those beliefs we have bought to keep us comfortable in struggle and scarcity, a poverty consciousness. Money is a gateway. All money is a value you're willing to put on something. How many times have you bought something because it was a deal? Value is a perception. It's not a miracle or a magic pill, it's a gateway. So today, what come up when I thought about guilt and why I brought money up is because oftentimes we use that as an excuse. So here's another prickly. Have you ever felt guilty for initiating sex? Or not initiating sex because you felt guilty? How many times were you guilted into sex? Or felt rejection around sex? Or guilty for not wanting to? Whatever the story is. What is the desire you feel guilty about? So settle in, soften, and close your eyes, and let's see where this takes you. As you begin to connect into your breath, breathing a little deeper in and out through the nose and mouth. And as you inhale, allow that spine to lengthen, the vertebrae to stack on top of another, one by one. Feel yourself lengthen. Draw that breath into the spaces and places you need it most. Inhaling to open, creating space within yourself. Space within and space without. As within, so without. I create space within my body. I release. I let go so I can let in. I create space within my body to expand outwards into space. Spaces around me and through my energetic field. And as you soften into that breath, start to make a connection with the air. And how it flows like water in a constant state of motion and movement through the body. And with that constant movement, there is never a time for stagnation or denial of movement. There is no time where we feel guilt or concern that we are taking too much from those around us. Yet when it comes to desire and for the self, there's often a resistance or a hesitation to claim it. We begin to experience fear and a struggle to connect to our own power to claim it. Draw all your awareness into your breath, the inhale and the exhale. How does it feel to be a witness to your breath? The warmth on the inhale, the coolness on the exhale. Breathe. There is no resistance, only from the self. Notice the waves, the motion it's creating, the emotions, and breathe a little deeper. Breathe in honor and blessings and joy and gratitude. Thank you, body. Thank you, breath. Thank you, life. No more struggle or sacrifice. Notice your lightness, the qualities in the flow. A taste, sound, and sensation. Notice how easy that breath is. What would it take for my divine currency to flow like the air that I breathe? What would it take to connect to my truest form with ease and grace? Because when I come to see it within me, I come to recognize it in everyone. And we are able to create a ripple in the water, like a drop creates a wave. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. Spirit and I are one, and we work together as a team. It is my intention to be a clear and neutral channel for the high self and for your spirit today. And how long will it take me to work? Thank you. And how long will it take my high self to work? Thank you. And how long will it take to prep this group to work? The group of the toolbox? Thank you. And do I have permission to work in this space? The answer is yes. So barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. On all levels, all layers, and all lifetimes, barriers down. And take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. Please clear and remove any and all blocking programs, any openings, any interferences and negative energy. Permanently seal all openings, cracks, portals, and fill with love and golden light. Please remove any links in my high self community chains, and please clear, remove, elevate, and educate all of my spiritual committees, including the high self, to the highest level of consciousness. Please reassign any committee members who are not ready, willing, and able to support 100% positive and 0% negative change. And please update and download all of our spiritual committees with new education, knowledge, wisdom, truth, understanding, and the potentials in one universe, as well as the entire star system. Provide them with the intellect required to clear all negative programming and establish them with a new plan that's based on everything positive. Please reduce the size of our spiritual committees to the minimum size for the maximum effect, clearing all bodies of negative programming and reducing all portals and gateways down to one. Please clear all of our spiritual committees serving of any and all programs that we've created with our spirit, including replications, mirroring images, and rebuilding. And please reduce my ego to the minimum level required to facilitate this clearing, more than 0 and not to exceed 3%. Suspend all judgment and keep us 100% neutral. Please clear and remove any extra souls, any addictions to extra souls, and set up a triple layer of protection around us, myself, our spiritual committees, as well as anybody that would be in the vicinity of us doing this work. And thank you. Is that clearing done? Yes. And are we clear to work? Yes. Am I clear to work with this group? Yes. And who am I currently working with? I'm working with the high self. So I'd like to begin with a real-time clearing anything and everything for us at this time. And as this real-time clearing is moving through you and to you, I'm going to ask Spirit to clear anywhere and everywhere that we are currently, past, present, and future, that we have ever felt guilt, shame, sexual shame, blame, smallness. And every time there was an expectation placed on ourselves by others, to clear any expectations that I have placed on myself, that we have attached to desires. Guilty for having desires to money, to gifts, to experiences, to sex, to abuse, to betrayal, to wealth, to relationships, to material things. Anywhere we have ever felt shame for wanting what we want or a desire to want. Where and everywhere that desire has been a dirty word. As we begin to bring them all forward, I'm going to ask that anywhere that there is judgment to other people, judgment which leads to judgment of the self, building on that leads to stories about beliefs which become lies that we bought and sold about ourselves and about anyone else. I want you to begin to bring them forward and allow them to land in your heart space as we release and let go. We are able to be open and expanded into even more space of what it is we desire. So we can hold its vision, so we can hold its vibration. What do we need to do to become aligned and congruent with that? With something even better. And thank you. Is that done? And who am I working with? I'm working with the highest self. And where are we going first? We're going to go into our jobs. And is it an energy or a program? It's an energy, and it can be cleared without research at this time. So please clear any and all of the themes and challenges, struggles, and the energy of our careers or our quote unquote jobs in this life, as well as any other lifetime, clearing them out root, trunk, and seed, clearing them out of all levels, all layers, all minds, all fields, all compartments. We're back to the heart of your spirit. So there is this strong belief that some of us are holding on to or have, or some of us are working through. There might be a couple. So in order to get what I desire, like it looks like an identity, a title, a promotion, or whatever that may look like, that you have to work hard. And if it doesn't work, then the idea comes that, well, I need to work harder. And then when it doesn't come again, that I'm either going to have to work harder or I'm going to have to quit. Because what is the point if I don't have the desire or get what I desire? Then it must not be meant for me. What I'm hearing is that it must be meant for everyone else, but it's not for me. And the second part to this is I'm doing what I do in this job, not because it fulfills me and not because I'm passionate about it, not because I love it, because I have to or because I should, because that's what everyone else in my world does. Or it's because of a pension, or because it pays well, because it's comfortable. Our society creates this dependency on structures to pay our bills. But these structures don't allow you to access genius. They don't put you in your zone. They don't put you in your gifts or even in your power. What is your desire? And where are you disguising them as something slightly different or calling it different? And thank you. Is that done? Yes. Was that enough to clear that energy field? And I'm hearing, yeah. So where are we going next? We're going to experience and trauma. And when was this established? It was in a future life. And does it have past life roots? The answer is yes. And how many characters? There's 2 characters. And who's the first character? Is a mother. And who's the second character? Is a teacher. And what type of mother is she? She was a high priestess. And what type of teacher? She was a spiritual teacher. Is it a male or a female? It's a female. Is there anything I need to know about the teacher? No. Is this an individual clearing? Yes. And are we all represented by the same person in this lifetime? And the answer is yes. And who are we in this lifetime? We were the high priestess. Was there hurt or harm? Yes, the teacher was harmed at the hands of the high priestess. And what type of harm was there? There was mental, emotional, physical, or death. There was an emotional harm resulting in an emotional death. Do we need to know the reason for this harm? Yes, the reason for this harm is channeling, as well as healing information. Healing information was being channeled, and we're going to begin to collect the energies of this lifetime. And the energies are abandonment, anger, apathy, appeasement, betrayal, escapism, envy, ego, doubt, despair, depression, cruelty, conflict, clearing. So clear these energies out, root, trunk, and seed. Clear them out of all levels, all layers, all minds, all fields, all compartments. Clear them out of all your spiritual communities, right back to the heart of your spirit. And I'm going to ask that we clear any discordant energies and open you up to safety, to security, open you up to success, open you up to spirit, to trust, to faith, to courage, to bravery, to understanding, to harmony, to forgiveness, to alignment, as well as every other positive word in the largest dictionary despite the language. So this is about a lifetime. The being in all of your divine frequencies and your highest vibration or your highest light as a healer, a helper, or the star person. Being in this form or experience, beginning as a student, then coming to this tipping point where the student outgrows or exceeds the teacher. There is this interesting dynamic, the word heed, like heed my warnings. So the teacher, it was like the teacher was trying to show the student progress in a safe manner. Safe meant slow. And this high priestess, we wanted it faster. We wanted it all. I can see the wheels just spinning. And the result of wanting it all or heeding those warnings resulted in an experience in trauma for the teacher. Someone deciding in your life that they wanted to take it all, and it didn't matter what it was, and they took it without the consent, without your full approval, even knowing that it would cause an emotional death. Because trauma is when we lose ourselves, when something bad happens. And what is created is guilt and shame and blame of self-betrayals, the judgments. We become our own judge, jury, and executioner. If I wasn't selfish, if I wasn't putting myself out there, if I thought I wanted it, I had a desire, if only I had listened. That lifetime and that experience has served a lesson. And sometimes we need to slow down in order to speed up, to take our time, to do the healing without rushing to the end, taking it literally. As when I want what I want, and when I want it, I'm willing to sacrifice other people getting hurt. Someone has to sacrifice and something has to give. The other shoe had to drop. And we come back to that glass half full or half empty. Or when something good finally comes our way fully, we don't know what to do with it. Or we think we'll never get there, so we quit. This is a journey, not a destination. And your journey, it is defined by every moment, every minute, every hour, and every day. And it is defined in what you think and feel and how you respond in every single one of those moments. It compounds and builds on each other. How you feel now, how you felt 30 minutes ago, how you felt yesterday, it's all creating. But there's this impatience. Instant gratification. Layer by layer, little by little. Take your time, because it's between those layers, there's this sweet spot for you, a place of intention and choice and healing. Knowing and having the faith that everything that you desire will come your way in a safe manner. And you have to believe that. And thank you. Is that done? And where are we going next? We're going to go into the program of unworthiness. Is it an energy or a program? It's an energy, and it can be cleared without research at this time. Yes, so please clear the energies of unworthiness, root, trunk, and seed. Clear them out of all levels, all layers, all minds, all fields, all compartments. Clear them out of all your 13 bodies. Clear them out of all your spiritual committees, right back to the heart of your spirit. Please clear any and replace any discordant energy of unworthiness and any other aspect by any other name that may be attached to it. Replace it with desire, with deserving, and a worthiness, with a belief in value, self-worth, with confidence, reclamation, and a declaration to claim your space. This was about you believing you deserve in every area of your life, in your relationships, in your jobs, with money, on your journey, whatever it is. Anywhere that you have ever had a subconscious belief that you don't have to desire. Desire what you want, where you felt guilty for wanting what you want. There may be some shifting required. So anywhere and everywhere that you have ever believed or deserved, or didn't believe or deserve to live, and have your heart's deepest desires are destroyed and uncreated on every level, every layer, and every lifetime. All those lies that have been bought and sold about being selfish, greedy, ego, narcissistic, or wrong, or it's dirty to have desires and wants in all areas of your life. Return all those ideas back to where they came, root, trunk, and seed, back to the first story, that first experience, back to that 0 point. Never to return to yourself, to the mind, the body, the spirit, or the energetic fields. I give myself permission. I give myself permission to heal. I give myself permission to have desires and wants without conditions, without trauma, and without guilt. I am opening up freely to all of my desires. I give myself permission to believe I can have it because I'm expanding into my divine frequency. And it keeps getting better and better. And the better it gets, the better it gets. And thank you. Is that done? And where are we going next? We're going to an unwillingness to cooperate with the high self. And it can be cleared without research at this time. So please clear anywhere and everywhere that any of us have ever felt or believed, say or know, that we have an unwillingness to cooperate with the high self, clearing that out, root, trunk, and seed, clearing it out of all minds, all fields, all compartments, clearing it out right out of the heart of the spirit. And this is what you believe to be true, not what's in the forefront of the mind or in the conversations you have that are very easy with that egoic mind every single day. This is about what's lying beneath the subconscious mind, where things lie just a little deeper and a little more hidden. What would you say if I told you that everything we think or the thought that comes in about someone else in any way, shape, or form, what would you say that when you think of those things, that there is a layer in the mind that you're actually thinking about yourself? The subconscious mind can't tell the difference between the two, yourself or them. What do you believe about yourself? And what do you believe is possible for you? Not what everyone else believes about you, but what do you believe? And what will you choose based on those beliefs? And what will you decide? Because the moment that you decide, you will be 100% all in. The moment you decide beyond a shadow of a doubt, no maps, no steps, just decide and surrender. Open up. Open up to see what is for you now. And take a nice deep breath in. And where are we going next? We're going into mop-up, so please clear 100% of the items on the mop-up list, including all the stats. And again, I'm going to invite you to deepen into your breath and come back into the body. And thank you. Is that done? What percentage of the items on the mop-up list have been complete? We're at 100%. And has brain restructuring been complete? We're at 100%. Have all pre-programmed illnesses, Alzheimer's, dementia, and accidents been cleared? And the answer is yes. And does your soul agree that it's been cleared? Yes. And is your high self and my high self in agreement that this has been cleared? The answer is yes. And are there any other programs coming up to be cleared at this time? And has your soul cleared to the highest level of consciousness? At what percent accuracy? We're at 100%. Thank you. And at this point, I'd like to call in any angels of light to help you integrate this clearing for yourself, for each other, and for myself. I call forth any guidance teams, soul family, ancestors, and star family. I welcome them in to assist and support you and myself in divine timing. And so it is. And take a nice deep inhale, exhale with a sigh. As you begin to fully come back and awaken into your body, Notice how you feel as you come back into your space.